Hey, so I was trying to decide what to talk about on my YouTube channel, and I have a lot of different things I'm passionate about, filmmaking and art and comedy, and I went to college, I'm smart, but really, at my core, I'm just a basic bitch who likes watching The Bachelor and drinking rosé. It's my guilty pleasure, and as much as I would like to think of myself as a cultured person, I'm a part of Bachelor Nation. So, I watched episode 1 of season 21, and I took lots and lots of notes. We're gonna do a play-by-play. We're gonna talk about all the girls on this season. We're gonna talk about Nick. There are 30 women, so we cannot waste time. We gotta get into it. And we have to talk about this opening with Nick in the shower and everything. I mean, I get it that he has a nice body, but who does this really appeal to? Are there women sitting out there? Are you sitting out there on your couch just like screaming because you see his abs with the shower water pouring over them? I don't get it. For me, I'm like, I don't know. I just want to get to the women. All this stuff beforehand with his family and looking at the pictures and meeting the old bachelors, it's like pomp and circumstance and filler. This is why this is a 2-hour show instead of just a 1-hour show, is all the filler and all the trailers they do before and after the commercials. Just get to the meat of it, ABC. I wanna see the women. I wanna see kissing and fights and people getting naked. That's what we signed up for. I wanna see crying. But luckily, Nick likes to cry a lot, as we saw in this episode. I like the way that they're profiling the women this season. I think it's awesome that they have so many women that have real careers, like lawyers and teachers. This season, I decided to become part of a Bachelor Fantasy League. I don't know if any of you guys are into this, but if you go to batchfantasy.com, you can see all of the rules of the league that I'm in. So my picks this season, and luckily none of them went home, were Rachel, Danielle L, Corinne, Haley, and Whitney. I almost put Danielle M in the mix, but then I remembered that no woman with short hair has ever won The Bachelor, and that's just a hard and fast rule. You have to have long pageant hair in order to be on The Bachelor. I mean, I almost applied to be on The Bachelor this year, but then I remembered, unless I want to get hair extensions and, take up some sort of weird hobby that makes me more interesting, I don't think that I would be a good fit for The Bachelor. But I digress. So, the first girls they profiled, Raven from Hoxie, Alabama. Now, Raven, we gotta remember that Nick lives in Silver Lake. He's a little bit of a hipster, so you emphasizing the fact that you like to go mudding and shoot guns and read the Bible, I don't think that that's gonna make you his perfect woman. Now, can we talk about Corinne a little bit? Her intro is crazy because she says that she works for her family with this multi-million-dollar business and she's 24 years old, but they never say what the business is. Corinne, is your family in the mafia? Are they laundering money? I guess I probably shouldn't be asking these questions because, I might be in danger. When the women first started coming out of the limo, I was worried because I thought these entrances are really boring, and I remember the men last season on The Bachelorette that one of them rode in on a unicorn, and then we had people coming out, we had a camel. My personal favorite was Sarah with the running shoes when she said she was the runner-up. It reminded me of Julia Roberts in Runaway Bride, and anybody who can remind me of Julia Roberts is good in my book. I'm sad that I didn't have her on my Bachelor Fantasy League. I wanna know how the fuck that one girl got Neil Lane to come with her in the limo. That is so pushy and so crazy. You haven't even talked to him and you're already showing him the rings that you want. I mean, I know that all of them are there because they wanna get engaged at the end. It's an unspoken thing, but at least let him get to know your personality or something before you jump into the pushing the rings on him. I feel like that girl has got to be on the chopping block. The grossest entrance was the Lady and the Tramp wiener move. That was disgusting. And she didn't even cook the hot dog. She put the hot dog in a book and put it in her purse and went in that limo and was like, I'm gonna get me a man with this cold hot dog. I don't think think so. That camel, again, I think Lacey on the camel was great. Her line was a little bit cheesy about liking a good hump. I mean, I get it. We've seen Nick on 3 other iterations of The Bachelor boning a bunch of girls, but we don't need to make a bunch of jokes about it. This is a sex positive society. Let's talk about the shark girl. I loved Nick's reaction when he finally got a one-on-one with her when she was swimming around the pool, because she was in a left shark outfit. That's like one of those left shark costumes from when Katy Perry did the Super Bowl, and she had the left shark dancing behind her, and then everybody got that costume. And this girl thinks that it's a dolphin, and she's convinced herself, and I feel like she's doing a bit. Like, she can't be that dumb to really think that this is a dolphin outfit. Either way, it was pretty smart because it made her stand out from the crowd, and of course he was gonna keep her, but I think Nick just encapsulated all of my feelings when in the confessional he said, "We have a shark. She thinks she's a dolphin, and that's a concern." That is definitely a concern if you are looking for, you know, possibly the mother of your children. You want her to be smart. I think that for a lot of reasons, Corinne is my early favorite in this season. I don't think she's gonna win because she's too annoying and there's no way that he could actually fall in love with her, but I have a feeling that she will make it at least to the top 5, if not the top 4, because she's just so entertaining and she cannot handle the idea of someone saying no to her. She's such a princess. You can tell, like, her parents never said no to her. Watching her in this first rose ceremony and the fact that she just like cannot handle her shit and cannot handle the idea that he might send her home, I can tell like that's the first time in her life that she had the possibility of someone saying no to her and she could not handle it. You know who else couldn't handle it was Christina. Christina was crying in the confessional during the entire episode and nothing had even happened yet. I don't understand what she was crying about. Like, stop crying. You're in a beautiful home and you're getting to be on TV. You have a chance to date Nick Viall, who arguably is one of the hottest bachelors and most desirable bachelors, at least in my opinion. I like him because I'm not into like the American football player type, and I feel like Nick is a little bit more soulful and has a little bit more interesting things to offer than just living on a farm and throwing a football around. Also, I was really stoked that he kept Liz. I think this is a very important thing. So Liz, if you don't remember, was his one-night stand from a wedding 9 months prior to the taping of this episode. And it's like, I think it's a little weird that she didn't give him her number after this one-night stand, but you know, that's her prerogative. Obviously she had a change of heart and she decided she wanted to go on The Bachelor to win him back. And like, it's hysterical that he didn't remember her to begin with, but then he did. And I'm just glad that he kept her because I feel like this is a real victory for women everywhere. This shows that yes, you can have a one-night stand and the man can still give you a chance. Or not really, I mean, it's not up to the man to give you a chance. I guess just like, you can have a one-night stand and you might still be able to have a relationship. It's not the end of the world if you have sex on the first night. There is still a chance. So bravo, Nick, for having an open mind. I cannot wait for the other shoe to drop and for the other woman to find out that Liz has already fucked Nick, because that is gonna be a shit show. But I think Nick made the right decision in giving her another chance, because obviously they already have chemistry and they were both drunk, they're at a wedding. You know, when you're at a wedding, everybody wants to bone everybody. That's just what happens, because you see two people in love and you say, you know, I want that. And everybody just feels like they're in love with everyone. As for the women that he sent home, most of them were pretty forgettable. The only ones that I really cared about was Lauren had the best dress and I was sad that they sent her home. And then Ida Marie, I really liked her entrance with the trust fall and I was intrigued to see where she would have gone in this season, so that was sad. But luckily none of my fantasy picks got sent home this week, so I'm still in the running to win some money. And yeah, come back next week. I am gonna do more recaps every week. And I wanna hear your thoughts about who your favorites are. Are you playing in a Bachelor Fantasy League? Let's talk. All right, subscribe, like, comment, share, all that good shit. And I will talk to you next week, basic bitches.